What is up with it? Today we are going to be watching round one from this last weekend's Orlando Bandai Card Fest. We have national champion Jackson Juan versus Jeff Burnham on Purple Luffy, a matchup that historically has been um, Purple Luffy favored. One of the reasons why I personally do not believe that BY Luffy is the best deck or was the best pick for um, Orlando, even though it did win the event. Purple Luffy was omnipresent, and it is a hard matchup. I believe Jackson won the rock paper scissors and chose to go second. Something that is a bit contentious in the BY community is if you are supposed to go first or second in this matchup, because obviously Purple Luffy, his perfect curve is going first. Um, I believe the reason. Oh, missing on the search on the GARP. That's tough. I believe a big portion of the reason why you really want to go second as BY Luffy in this matchup is because Kuzan on 4 is super strong, helping you remove some of the things, like the Luffy Taros. I'm just going to swing 5 at life. The Luffy's going to take. I do believe it is correct to swing into the BY as the purple Luffy, but I could be wrong. Okay, gonna go ahead and play the Zoro looking at top 5. Dude looks hella nervous. Fair enough. You're on stage round 1 versus the national champion. I would probably be hella nervous too. This is probably not how he was expecting to start his morning. Grabbing the 9-drop Luffy and passing. Jackson going to 4. I have to imagine we're going to swing 5 and play the Kuzan. I personally have not watched this yet. But I'm interested in seeing how Jackson wins because I do know that this is supposed to be a difficult matchup for the BY. I personally know some really high level BY players who lost some games to Purple Luffy at this very event. So I know it can be rather difficult. As Purple Luffy can both go semi-wide and tall at the same time with things like Luffy Taro. Oh, looks like we're playing Sanji? Oh, we're playing Sanji. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and not have the Luffy Taro on curve. I'm guessing we're swinging at the Kuzan. Okay. Have to imagine Jackson's not thrilled with that, but probably feels better about that than if Jeff had played the. Surely we swing here, right? Force him to awaken this next turn on 6. And then continue pressuring after that would be my guess. Hmm. I I'm not sure I hate it. I mean, sure it is. It's much harder for him to awaken um, at 2, but imagine he plays like a Sabo here, right? Now he has 2 life and a blocker, and then your turn gets super awkward. I think we want to put him down to 1. Um, we want to put him down to 1 and assume that he's going to awaken. But if he awakens on 6, that means he has to use a baby. And then that means on 8, he has to use babies. Which, um, forcing them to have to do those things, especially when his trash doesn't have any bigs in it yet, right? Um, yeah, because see, now we can't threaten lethal. If someone is like super tapped in, they really feel like they are an expert at BY, which I'm not. Like it's such a weird dynamic, a weird matchup. Just anytime you're playing any deck that has to play into BY. Let me know if you think it was correct not to swing the Sanji there, but I really feel like surely you had to, right? I'm not even 100% sure. Okay, he countered because if he doesn't, then Jeff goes 7 and then 10. So this is the cheapest thing he can counter. 10 with the big Luffy. See, this is yeah. Yeah. Jackson should be at 1 life right now, and then this turn is so much better. So much better. Yeah. Ah, you hate to see it. I mean, shout out to Jackson. His aura cooked Jeff here, I think. Definitely still winnable game though. I feel like I would at this point we got the card out of his hand. I would just be looking to play the Luffy Taro, personally. If there's anything to pair with it. Oh, he really wants to tap 9. I think we want to go a little wider. We want to go a little wider and say, hey, if you don't, why are we swinging here? For what? I don't know. I don't really get it. Oh. Um, gonna play the 9 mom, heal the Garp. Okay, so now Jackson's on 8. I guess the Garp at the top is a little awkward if you like Hiyori or Flampe. It doesn't go to your hand. Oh, but both of those cards can actually. I'm not sure I'm really seeing the vision here. Yeah, both of those things can do from the bottom. I forgot about that. Yeah, so all this Garp did was give him an extra draw. I feel like if we're gonna heal, yeah, I just don't like this play. He must not have anything to pair with the Luffy Taro. I think he should be in a really good position here, and I think he just kind of cooked himself. To be honest, I don't know anything about this gentleman. I mean, he has his invite to Nats, so more credentials than I have. Um, but I don't think we played this correctly. I think we're going. It looked like he signaled he's going 9 into the Sanji, or is this 11? I think he. I think he double awakened. So this is actually 11. Oh yeah, we're so cooked, dude. This takes like our entire hand. I mean, surely we just have to let this go. No? Yeah, feels hella bad. I am uncertain at the moment if I'm gonna watch over the other games. I know a bunch of people like Luigi Amato have already watched the um, BY Blackbeard. Um, so I don't really know if it makes sense for me to watch that one. And then we have the finals of Crossplane versus Lucci, and like that's just so unbelievably uninteresting. Like, oh no, Cross awoke and then played Sabo and Gecko 5 million times. No hate to Cross. Anyone who knows me knows I fuck with Cross heavy. Um, so, but just the match is just unbelievably boring. Okay, so all we had to do that turn was give a single 2K. Or I guess we gave a 2K and a 1K. And we're just going to go ahead and play Gecko. It's crazy how few cards Jackson has in his hand. So doing the good old Gecko Moira stuff. I didn't see him indicate at any point that he was boosting the Luffy. But Jackson doesn't appear to put dice on his things when they're bigger, which I like. I like that he doesn't do that. The reason I like it, for context, I come from Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! You're not even allowed to do that shit. Like, it's literally against the rules. So, you know, I don't know if Jackson has a Yu-Gi-Oh! Background at all, but I also do not mark things with dice. Okay, so using the Gum Gum on the 8 swing, this should be 11 at life. He's going to take... Definitely want to swing at life rather than the characters here. He has too many cards in hand. It's too easy to protect. Keeping the Rocket Luffy for a potential swing and pop next turn. I like that. We don't need the card draw right now. Like, we're not at risk of getting lethaled at all. This is a tough spot. I mean, anytime the Luffy player has a full board of Gecko and 5 drops, including multiple Sabos, 1 life, 9k leader, you're probably losing the game, regardless of what deck you're playing. The only deck that typically is okay in that sort of situation is a BY Luffy that also has a Gecko Moira and 5 drops, including 2 Sabos. It's typically the only deck that can get to this situation and feel okay. Like, really, the only thing you can pray for as the purple Luffy player is like, hey, I'm going to swing a couple times this turn, and surely next turn he just doesn't have any babies or Gecko. Surely he just actually has no place. Which actually just genuinely never happens. Genuinely, it just actually never has happened in the history of the game. At least not in my experience. They always have a play. Really thinking here. I personally don't feel like there's a huge difference between 9 and 10 here. He has crafted his hand so many times that, or filtered his hand rather, that he has 2Ks in his hand. They always have 2Ks in their hand at the end of the game because they filter so much. It's really thinking about this. Jeff, I'm going to need you to make an action. I'm actually going to be interested to see if Jackson tells him at any point that if he could please make an action. Does anyone know the official rules for, like, how long you're really allowed to think about an action in One Piece? Because genuinely, I don't know, and I would love to know. So if you know, like, what the rule book actually says, let me know. Because I do low-key feel like One Piece people be getting away with some criminal slow playing sometimes. Like those Thailand players, low-key, that we watched like a couple weeks ago or a week ago or something like that. Took actually like 6 minutes to do one swing. That was crazy. That was insane. Six minutes, you should be given like 2 warnings. Literally warning. Oh, you took another 3 minutes. Okay, game loss. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do the Luffy Taro into Onami. The Onami does go +1, but it's unfortunately going to be forced to block the Rocket Luffy swing. Because if you don't block with it, he just uses the ability. Yeah, so we just have to block. Okay, he knows he has to block. Gonna pop the law. He does have a baby Luffy in hand, but I don't see a gecko. Oh, never mind. I think I see a gecko. I don't know why I'm like tilting my head trying to see it. I'm not exactly sure what Jackson is thinking about here. I feel like we're always slamming the Moria. Oh. Am I tripping? Is this not like a crazy easy turn? Are we just always discarding the big Luffy and putting 2 in life and playing the Sabo? And I still haven't seen him indicate that he's boosted his Luffy, but he must just be doing it verbally and not pointing at it or anything, which is completely fine, completely legal, so I have no problem with that. It's just as a viewer, I have no way of knowing. Just have to trust that he did it. Is there any punish to not leveling up the Sabo before swinging? Like if he takes um hmm. There's another Luffy in hand for next turn. So if he plays like a Nami or anything, we can pop it. I mean, I think this purple Luffy player is just gonna be forced to go for game next turn. I think you just probably take and then you counter the last one. Like you're forced to go for game regardless. Does he have the giant? I think he does. I think it's maybe his last card. I see a little bit of gold back there. If you have the giant, just take counter the last one. You have infinite cards in hand. Like you're never living next turn. Like yeah, there we go. He sees it. Two. I'm not exactly sure why we're not using the Gum Gum here. Oh, it's because he wants the maximum number of Dawn. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Not using the Gum Gum is really good. Because he was only at 8 right there, so he needs to go back up to 10. Yep, that makes sense. Gonna go ahead and play 3 for the Yusahachi, resting the thing. And I do know that this does not go through, because I know Jackson wins this. So what type of swing should we be looking at here? I would probably swing 9 with the 9 mom, personally, to start. Oh, I think he's gonna go 13-13, which I believe gets punished by Jackson having only 2Ks. So if you go 13, it takes 5K counter. If you go if you go 11, okay, he has 7 Dawn. If you go 12, 12, 12, he has to take one, that's fine, and then... Am I tripping? Does that take more counter? Because he has 7... Oh, wait. He can't go 12, 12, 12. Because that takes... What can he do here? He has 17... He has 11, 11, 12. So you take the 12 and then you need to counter out of 2 11s, which takes 1k more counter. Yeah. So he should have gone 11 11 12 cuz it takes 1k more counter. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Someone let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think 11 11 12 is correct. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day.